Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to another episode of Analysis. DC this time, first for us, I believe. I'm Callan,
Breaking
this is
ground.
Evan,
Hey everyone.
and today we're going to be covering The Batman, latest DC film out. Probably the best in a good long while, I think. To start with, we're going to be covering spoiler-free information for those who haven't yet seen the film and want to hear our thoughts. And once we've done that, we'll be moving on in a separate video to discuss a spoiler-free summary and general analysis of what we thought. So, yeah,
Usual
Evan,
format.
initial thoughts on this without any spoilers, please.
Well, I honestly can't believe I'm saying this, but this is probably the be- well, best movie featuring Batman, I should say, since The Dark Knight. I mean, depending on what your thought of Rises, of course. Callan doesn't like it. I think it's okay, but we won't get into that now.
It's all right,
Anyway,
just not as good.
uh, well, Robert Pattinson, really impressed me with how he portrays the character. This is easily the best Batman movie in terms of just making Gotham City feel like a rich, deep world, and you actually feel the size and scope and just the personalities of all these people so well. It really does a great job of immersing you in Gotham City and just showing you just how many layers this setting really has, which makes sense because Gotham City is one of the most layered places in all of comics. So I love that. Music's a little but still decent. Most of the actors do a fantastic job. It's great seeing, Riddler for once. Well, not for once. He Batman Forever, yes, but we'll get to this in the
What do
spoilers.
you
But let's
mean
just
for
say,
once? There was a classic rendition of the Riddler in the previous films.
of course. I mean, but it is great to finally see him again after so long. So just for the character, it's great. And again, this is also easily the best rendition of Catwoman that's ever been done in films. But again, we'll get to that with the spoiler. So, not a perfect film by any extent. There are some structural issues. But overall, if you're a fan of the Batman character, which we most definitely are, I would definitely recommend this highly. Very much so. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, much the same thoughts from me, really. I think it's worth to note. I agree with you about the point of. I agree with you on the point of the Gotham City kind of immersion. I think that most people will counter that with the fact that the original films were probably much more so that way. Had a lot more going for them in that regard. But that would be in the sense of the more outlandish, almost cartoonish style. That eventually got adopted in the actual Batman cartoon, even. But in terms of like realism, like a real modern day, real life city, I think you're absolutely right. This did the best job of kind of blending the two ideas of the outlandish Gotham and the believable Gotham of the modern world. Um, so I very much agree on that level. The music, again, like you said, it was when it was
It
there, it
wasn't
was
bad. It
great.
just isn't very memorable.
Yeah, exactly. We discussed it the other day when it was there and when it was on screen and you were hearing it alongside the action. It was fun and it was good and it was exciting, but none of it was anthem level, especially not in comparison to the Dark Knight trilogy. None of it's going to be playing
Right.
back in your head, at least not with me, for the next
Me
however
neither.
long. So I mean, I've already forgotten most of it. I can think about three beats and off the top of my head where I thought, oh, this is cool, and I couldn't tell you what sound it was making. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, no, I enjoy it. It was a very stylish film. Lots of
As Batman films tend to be.
yeah, but even with that in mind, this one had a lot of visual kind of iconography, and
It's a
cinematic.
gorgeous movie, by the way.
Yeah, just
Gorgeous
cinematic
movie.
choices they've made in this one.
Hmm.
Not just in terms of how each scene is shot, which is solid by itself, for the most part, but also just what they do with the colors and the tones and the feel of the individual scenes, but also the larger kind of um, theme or story they're trying to tell at any given moment. Particularly some of the moments regarding Batman, which obviously, given the fact that how relevant the bat symbol is in the modern world, and in DC stories, it's good that they've managed to capture that and get that across. But yeah, for me, probably about 7 out of 10 overall on this one. I enjoyed it, and I think I could recommend it to anyone who's a fan of Batman in the cinematic world. Um, but it's I mean, I'll have to get into it in the spoiler
Hmm.
territory, really. But it's got some elements to it that I think could have been improved
Are a little
upon.
clucky.
Yeah, it could have been improved upon, or at least weren't quite hitting the mark of what Batman means for me. So your mileage may vary on this one, I think, basically. Um, but it's still a solid cinematic work, and I've got a lot to talk about with the spoiler section. So, But yeah, those are our thoughts on Batman without getting to spoiler territory. Hope you guys, if you haven't seen it already, go and enjoy it, and then join us for the spoiler-filled video of the full analysis.
Looking forward to seeing you there.
See you then.